It's one West, 125th. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building. This is one West, 125th. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building, nigga. Building. They let the priests in the building, nigga. Beers, braids, and boots, even though I got a bald head, long nose. Pistol, I feel that bitch with bald heads, all crank. Tissue pulling out that boy's head. Shit's chopped. Looking like a bulls at a street fight, 2 hands faster than the Honda. You don't want no problems, roll up on you like Blanca. One West, that's the mantra. Red hairband with a spray gun like Contra. Check your attitude, the gear stretch, longitude, the latitude. Come on. I'm a priest, bitch, so some fucking gratitude. Could tell I'm one West by the way I walk, way I talk. 125th straight New York, ballin', nigga. And I'ma rep it to the death of me. I die for the guy on the right or the left of me. You turn into beast mode, I turn into priest mode. Get the knocking niggas out like Craig for thinking they default. It's one West, 125th. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building. This is one West, 125th. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building, niggas. Hardcore, men at war. I just follow Captain Yachty, with him I go. I might lose my shit for him, I blow and get the picking niggas off through that one I scope. We got a garment down to the foot, girdle around the paps, not a scuff on the boot. Yeah. You niggas try and look tough and look cute while we rock rough and stuff until your stuffing loose. Been held back too long, now we busting loose, breaking down the barriers, this destructive truth. I was talking to a dumb nigga rhyme and he said the Israelites, that's no denying. I said, yeah, but you ain't in compliance. You trying to be Kyrie, I'm trying to be General Muhammad. That's right. It make me want to break a nigga's spine and to what a doc can't even fucking realign him. I get a nigga to get a nigga on consignment. It's one West, 125th. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building. This is one West, 125th. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building. In the building. They let the priests in the building, nigga. It's the truth, it's the home. Home of the truth. When niggas ain't gotta roam. Yeah. When niggas ain't gotta die alone. Put a nigga on both sides, you ain't gotta die alone. Be like, that nigga deader than a motherfucker. I brought my sword back wetter than a motherfucker. Fuck the turtles. I'm shredded like a motherfucker in this gym trying to get shredded like a motherfucker. The loose can and the firebomb, everything on this gun custom like a die. Wanna call it Wanyala, the Kwa, Razan, the Makia, Yahaja, Malakati, Yaganan. Let's go! They let the priests in the building, nigga, waking up on people. Even when we chillin', nigga, fuck them fake camps. Better get with the realer niggas. For Christ come back and say, kill them niggas! All right, clap it up. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commanding General Yohana. This is ISUPK Austin, Tuesday Brotherhood, or Salakia, Wednesday Law class. All right. It's important to know the laws of the Most High. Okay. That's what's wrong with us. And Christianity doesn't teach us the laws of the Most High. Christianity, they teach us, it's about what you feeling or what you want to make the Most High to be. Okay, we don't make the Most High. We don't give him orders. Okay, we don't give him laws. We don't give him rules, but he does give us rules, and that's why it's important to have a law class. And it's important because they say that the law is done away with. Okay. And that is absolutely not true. All right. The laws are not done away with. These laws, these statutes and commandments, they exist. Okay. No matter of how you feel, no matter of what you think. All right. No matter of what you feel. At the end of the day, the Lord, he is in charge. And since the Lord is in charge, we have to fall in line, okay? We have to fall in line. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Cain and Abel, okay? Hold on, bear with me 1 second. I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, let me fix this. I mean, that is Tawab, but oh, Salakia. We're just gonna leave it. I ain't gonna shake it. All right. Uh, Give me a Genesis 4:1. But now tonight we're going to be getting into Cain and Abel. All right, because a lot of people they don't understand, how the Lord can choose or how the Lord can separate. Okay, you see, we all were what were we taught about Cain and Abel? Uncle Come or your brother can answer. What were we taught about Cain and Abel?
Cain
Growing up in church.
did Cain and Abel did Cain kill his brother?
Uh-huh. All right. And what are we taught about Adam and Eve?
Adam and Eve Cain and Abel was the sons of Adam
Yeah.
and
But what do they say about Adam and Eve? Like without the children, what do they say? Adam and Eve were the what?
so like you said, I'm confused.
Were they say they were the first people on the earth, right?
Right?
They say that the Lord formed Adam out of some clay, and that they took Eve from Adam's rib, right? So as we look at the story, it just looks like it's Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel. So after Cain slew Abel, then that only leaves three people left in the earth, right?
Right?
But that is not the truth. All right. And we're going to get into that as well today, like to let you know that it wasn't just Cain and it wasn't just four people on the earth. All right. Because it said that Cain went to the land, to the city of Nod. How is there a city if there's only four people? Okay. And he said his what he did, like his sin that he committed by slaying Abel. He said that if somebody was somebody out there would unalive him for it. But how could he be unalived if there's only four people on the earth, three people on the earth, him, his mother, and his father, if his mother and father weren't pursuing him? Okay. But let's get into the topic a little bit, and you can go ahead and start there.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain,
Mm-hmm.
and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord.
You see? So Adam knew his wife. That's what it means to know in the Bible. To know in the Bible, it means to come together and have intercourse. Okay? Adam knew his wife, Eve, and she bore Cain. All right? And they said, I have gotten a man, right? I've gotten a man from the Lord, because they were blessed with a seed. Continue reading.
Verse 2. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground.
You see, this is important. This is important right here, because it says she bare again. So she bare Abel. You see, Abel was a keeper of sheep. All right. Cain was a tiller of the ground. He over there producing, fruits and vegetables. He's pretty much farming. All right. He's tilling the ground. But Abel, he has that meat. Okay. He has that sheep. And that's what he did. He was a keeper of sheep. Okay. Continue reading.
Verse 3. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground and an offering unto the Lord.
All right. So Cain, he brings his offering. He brings the fruit of the ground. He brings the seed that the ground has yielded. Okay. And he came to present that to the Most High. All right. So he presents he presents his sacrifice of seed, the fruit of the ground, right? To the Most High. Continue reading.
Verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
He
And
brought the what?
the firstlings of his flock.
See, but Abel's coming with that blood sacrifice, with that meat, with that sheep. And not only is he just coming with a sheep, he's coming with the firstling of his flock. The firstling is the first. That and it's a continue
Of his flock, and of the fat thereof, and
Mm-hmm.
had respect unto Abel,
You
and
see, continue.
and to his offering.
Okay, so Abel came with that firstling and that fat of thereof. He came with the best. He came with Bessie. He came with that. He came with his best. Okay, that's what he brought to the Lord, and that's why the Lord had respect for Abel's offering, because he brought the right offering. He didn't come with his fruits and his corn and his, he didn't come with none of that. He came with something that yields blood. Okay, continue reading.
Verse 6. And the Lord,
Verse 5.
oh my fault. So like it. Verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect.
He what?
He had not respect.
He had not respect for Cain's offering. He didn't have any respect for that, because what the Lord requires, it's something more. It's something greater. Okay? That seed, that fruit of the ground that Cain tilled, that is not what the Lord wanted as a sacrifice. So he didn't have any respect for that. All right, we're going to drop that because we're going to double back around. But first, let's get some understanding. Let's go to the New Testament. We're going to go to Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 4. And you can read it when you have it. Because it's important to understand what the Lord requires. You see, your Christian pastor, he says all these things, but he doesn't really teach you what the Lord requires. They don't really teach you what to do. They don't really give you the understanding that you're going to absolutely need to navigate your way through this world. That's why we're strung out on drugs. That's why we're living alternative lifestyles. That's why we're giving all of our love to the other nations. You know what happens when you give your love to the other nations? You do not have any love for your nation, because you are sacrificing it all to everybody else. You sacrifice it to the people who don't care about you because you want to fit in with them. You want them to look at you with favor. You want them to look at you like you're one of the good ones, like that's an honorable one. Well, they will never look at you like that, for they are your enemy. Okay, and that's why they treat you as such. That's why they come to your neighborhood and they sell you all the gas. You get all the gas, all the malt liquor, all the strawberry blunts. You get it all right there. And they take all that money after poisoning you, giving you everything that you don't need. You know what they do? They go and take that back to their community. You all right? There's a Chinatown everywhere. They're going to come in. They're going to sell you all the chicken. Like they fry chicken better than us. You got to go get your chicken wings from them, right? Go get your mushu. Go get all that, right? And they're going to take that and give it back to their community. You're going to go to their nail salons. They're going to cuss you out and talk about you while they rubbing your feet, okay? While they scraping the bunions off of your foot. They are going to be there running their mouth, talking about you, hating you, but they're going to let you in that place so they can take your money and take it back to their community. You think you're going to get a job there? You think after you get nail sets for 5 years and you go in there and ask for an application, you think you're hireable? You're not. This is what we got to understand, okay? That's why we got to learn these laws of the Most High. That's why we got to learn what the Most High requires, so we know how to navigate through the world that we are living in, through the times that we are in. And the only way you're going to learn that is right here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under the Commanding General Yohanan. You're not learning this in the Christian church. You're not learning this in the Muslim mosque. All right? You're not learning this in Egyptology. You're not learning this in the Moorish Science Temple. You're not learning this serving Buddha. You better come here and serve the Most High and understand what you're supposed to do. All right? And anytime anybody got any questions, you can chat them in. You can raise your hand, and we'll get them, Lord willing. Go ahead and read that if you got it.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 4. By faith, Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain.
So hold on, slow that. Read that again and slow that down, brother.
Verse 4. By faith, Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain.
It said by faith. By faith, Abel offered this to God. And the Lord, through the faith of Abel, bringing his best to the Lord, the best that he had to offer, bringing to the Lord, we see what? We see that the Lord said his sacrifice is more excellent than Cain. Okay? That's why Cain was wroth and his countenance fell. He got mad. You could tell in his facial expression. Okay? He was mad that his sacrifice was rejected. Okay? But it says right here, by faith, Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice. Not by his mind, not by what he thought, but he had faith. He had faith in what he was doing was going to please the Most High. That's how you need to carry yourself. That's how you need to move. That's how you need to navigate. You need to have faith that what you are doing is the Lord is looking like his sacrifice is more excellent than them over there. You going to camp. You sacrificing. You cut out. You following the laws of God. Okay? You sacrifice it. Make your sacrifice more excellent than Cain's. Okay? Continue reading.
By which he obtained witness that he was righteous.
That he was what?
That he was righteous.
You see, Abel was very righteous because what he brought to the Lord, it was a righteous sacrifice. It was a righteous thing. Okay? And as you brothers get older, you're going to appreciate righteousness more. You see, when you're young, you like that little young tail running around. You don't care about her righteousness at all. You get a little older, you get a little closer, and her righteousness will mean something to you, right? Because you don't want no woman that's been out there that everybody's had. Okay? So that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to obtain that a witness that we are righteous, just like Abel did. Continue reading.
God testifying of his gifts, and by it he, being dead, yet speaketh.
You see, this is what's so prevalent about learning the Bible, about coming in here under this banner in the UPK and getting understanding. All right, it's very important. Okay, let's go to Leviticus. Leviticus chapter 1, verse 2. Well, actually, we can just start at 1. We can start at 1.
Okay. So like the book of Leviticus, chapter 1, verse 1. And the Lord called unto Moses and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying,
Continue.
verse 2, speak unto the children of Israel.
Speaking to who?
Speak unto the children of Israel.
It's saying, speak unto the children of Israel. You see, you got to understand this Bible is very personal. Okay? This Bible is personal. If I tell y'all something, if I tell y'all, let me put it this way. Let me find the best way to put this. Okay. So if we in a group of people, all right, and I say, we're in a group, we walking through the mall, all right, and I say, we gonna go to this store, we gonna go to this store. I'm not talking to everybody in the mall. I'm talking to a specific people, the people I am with. That's what the Bible does. The Bible speaks only to the children of Israel, to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right? Continue reading.
And say unto them,
Mm-hmm.
if any of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle,
Of the what?
of the cattle,
Continue.
even of the herd,
Of
and
the what?
even of the herd,
Uh-huh. Continue.
and of the flock.
And of the flock. You see, that's why Abel's sacrifice wasn't accepted. And he was mad at Abel. I mean, it's like Cain's sacrifice wasn't accepted. All right. Because this is what the Lord requires. Ye shall bring offering of cattle, even of the herd and of the flock. He requires it in blood. Okay. Not in your fruits and vegetables. All right. He wants you to bring a meat offering. He is saying, speak unto the children of Israel and let them know these things. All right, continue reading.
Verse 3, if his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish.
All right, stop right there. See? And not only does it need to be a burnt, if you offering a burnt sacrifice, it says, let him offer the male without blemish. That means he wants a perfect sacrifice. It doesn't want blemishes. He doesn't want spots. He doesn't want it old. He doesn't want it sick. He requires your best. And that's what he requires out of you today. He requires your best. And you better give it to him. It would be wise to offer the Lord the best of you. You didn't offer the Crips and Bloods the best of you. You didn't offer the U.S. military the best of you. You didn't offer these colleges the best of you. Why won't you offer the Most High the best of you? Because that's what he requires. Okay? That's what is required. All right. Where we at?
We at verse 3.
Oh, yeah. Continue.
He shall offer it of his own voluntary, will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord.
And if you're going to make this offering, you should offer it on your own voluntary will. Okay? Not forced. It shouldn't be forced. You should want to do this. It should be your own voluntary will. It said at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. Let's see what verse 4 says.
Verse 4, and he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him.
And see, that's why we used to sacrifice the animals, to make the atonement for us, to cleanse us, okay? But then we got the ultimate sacrifice now, which is Christ. Christ is the ultimate sacrifice, so there's no need to take a lamb, to take a goat, to take a sheep, to take a bullock up there. There's no need because Christ is the ultimate sacrifice. All right, let's get Exodus 12.
What verse?
We'll start at 5.
5.
Con.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male first year. Ye shall take it out of the sheep or from the goats.
You see, so when you take out this animal, it has to be without blemish. It has to be a male of the first year. Don't bring that old one that you can't get no work out of no more. Don't get that old one that's just laying around waiting to go. Don't do that. Don't give that to the Lord. Give the Lord your best. All right? That's what we need to do. We need to give the Most High our best. Okay? A lamb without blemish. Okay. Continue reading.
Verse 6. And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill in it the evening.
You see? You shall keep it until the 14th day of the month. Ooh-wee, that's what we just got back from North Carolina celebrating. Okay. And it was excellent. It was glorious to see brothers and sisters come from all over the world. They're going to come from Puerto Rico. They're going to come from Jamaica. They're going to come from Mexico. They're going to come from the UK. Oh, they're going to come from all the cities in America. They're going to come. They're going to show out. They were going to be dressed to impress and give Trooper Kakama Mai a hand for celebrating his first Passover. Okay? So go and get out there and get that amazing experience to be there with his brothers. That's an honorable thing. What you did, Trooper, that was an honorable thing. Okay? And you just continue that every year. That's what we do. We're going to come together and we're going to celebrate that Passover. Okay?
I would have come.
I'm getting a little too ahead. Let me next verse. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Oh, really? No. Let's drop down to 21.
21.
Yeah.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 21. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families and kill the Passover.
You see, that's what we did. Okay, we went and we took that lamb. All right, and it said, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families and kill the Passover. This was important because what was happening in Egypt is we were being afflicted, just like we are here in America. And so the Lord was going to unalive all of the firstborn of everything in Egypt. So it was required that you slaughtered that lamb and that you put it on your door, you put it over there, you rub the blood on there so the Lord would pass over your house and spare your firstborn. Okay? Continue reading.
Verse 22. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two sides posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning.
It said when you do this that night, do not open that door, do not go through. You stay in that house. We probably was in that house with that strong drink, because could you imagine the terror? Could you imagine the screams of your neighbors of all of Egypt when their first of everything is perishing? Could you imagine the what kind of night that was? That would be a terrifying night. If you ever hear the howls and screams of grown men who are strong, it is terrifying. Some of you brothers who've been behind bars, you might understand. Okay, continue reading.
Verse 23. For the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two sides posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you.
You see, and this is another reason why it's so important to follow a order. Just imagine if you didn't follow this order back then. You could have believed everything that Moses said. You could have believed this wholeheartedly, but you just didn't do it. You just didn't get around to it. and you would have suffered the destroyer coming into your house. It's important to follow the order. It's important to follow the men above you. Okay, drop down to 27.
The book of Exodus, verse Salaki, chapter 12, verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
That ye shall say, it is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses. And the peoples bowed the head and worshiped.
Because they were spared. Because they got an instruction, they followed it, and they were spared. Okay, continue reading.
Verse 28. And the children of Israel went away and did as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron. So so they did they.
Continue reading.
Verse 29. And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, for the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle.
This is how the Lord moves against your enemies. You see what it said? It said from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sat on his throne, it's like you. The firstborn of Pharaoh who sat on the throne unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon. We bring that to today. If that happened today, it would be what? It would be from the president to the bum under the bridge. That's what it would be. That's what we have to understand. When the Lord comes up and he rises against your enemies, he's going to rise against all of your enemies. You think your enemies are only the people in power? You think they're only the oppressors in power are your enemies? Because you think the ones you go to school with, you think they're really your friends, right? You think they really care. All right. You think they don't they're not a threat, right? Well, they will grow up and be a threat. We need to start looking at them like they look at us, all right? They asked this Edomite woman, they said, when does a black boy go from being a cute young black boy to a thug? Do you know what this devil said? She said about 12 years old. A 12-year-old is a kid. That is a child. That's when they start looking at you like a gangbanger thug. That's when they start looking at you like, now this is my enemy who can hurt me. At 12 years old. 12 years old, you still running around and playing and having the joys of a child. You're not even a teenager yet. As a preteen, they look at you like a threat. And we wonder what happened to Emmett Till. We wonder why Emmett Till, so young, those things could happen to him. We wonder why Trayvon Martin, so young at 14, these things can happen to him. It's because your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay? Continue reading.
Verse 30. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt.
There was a what?
And there was a great cry in Egypt.
There was a great cry in Egypt. Just imagine such loss, such devastation, such pain. Oh, it's going to be a great cry. And there will be a great cry in America as well. Continue.
For there was not a house where there was not one dead.
You see? Because every house, when they woke up, from Pharaoh to that man in the dungeon, they felt that. Okay? Hold on. Let me see if I can find this real quick off the top of my head. This is Jeremiah 14. Hold on, bear with me 1 second so I can show y'all this too as well. That's what it is. All right, let's get Zechariah. Chapter 2. Let's see.
Oh, what verse?
Oh, that's not it. No, that's not it. Hold on, Salakia. Here, let me go into my. Bear with me 1 second. It is Jeremiah 16. That's it. And 15. I knew it was Jeremiah. And I was in 16. Maybe I was in 14.
Salakia, sir. Jeremiah what?
16 and 15.
15.
Yeah, let me make sure that that's what I want. And no, we'll start at 14.
14.
Because just like the Lord rescued the children of Israel out of Egypt, it will happen again. Continue. I mean, go ahead and read that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Therefore, the days come, said the Lord, that it shall be no more said, the Lord liveth, that brought the children up out of the land of Egypt. There'll be a time where we won't celebrate that Passover no more. No, we won't talk about the Lord delivering us out of Egypt. Okay, that's not what we're going to be talking about. Now let's read the next verse and blow their minds.
Verse 15. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
From what?
The land of the north.
From where?
The land of the north.
Hey, young brother, what's your little brother's name?
This young man Ty.
Young man Ty. What country do we live in?
America.
Yeah, but what America?
Malaysia.
North.
North. Okay.
North America.
North America.
That's the Lord is going to come and save so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians from the land of the North. From right out of our oppressors' hands. From where you can't even walk down the street. From where you can't even drive your car to work to make your little measly dollars. Because you are being oppressed. Because if the police get behind you, they want to beat you. He want to take you out and beat your brains in. Okay? Where you're living in the ghetto, where you're living in poverty, where you're looked at as a piece of garbage. Oh, the Lord's going to come. He's going to rescue. He's going to save so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians from the land of the North. Continue reading.
And from all the lands whether he had driven them.
And hold on. And from all the lands where he have driven them, because we were scattered over all four corners of the earth. So out of the land of the north, and our brothers and sisters is getting delivered out of everywhere that we were driven. Continue reading.
And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
And I will bring them into their land. Okay? The land I gave unto their fathers. All right? The land that he gave unto our fathers is the land of Israel. All right? In the 1940s, that small hat, okay, that's when they ended up over there, okay, in our land. But that is not their land. They are not the people of the land, okay? That belongs to us. And one day we will be back there. All right, let's get back and let's go to 1 Kings.
What chapter, sir?
1 Kings 18 and 22.
18 and 22. The book of First Kings, chapter 18, verse 22. Then said Elijah unto the people, I only remain a prophet of the Lord, but Baal's prophets are 450 men.
You see, Elijah was a bad brother. And this sacrifice that happened this day, it was very glorious. Okay. You see, Elijah, he came and he said, I, only me, okay, remain a prophet of God. It said, but Baal's prophets, there are 450 men. That's why we don't care about any numbers that you have. We will come up against any number that you have because the Lord is with us. Okay? The Lord is right here with the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. I pray you understand. Continue reading.
Verse 23. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it salaki, cut it in pieces, and lay it on the wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock and lay it on wood, and put no fire under.
You see, so he said, pick out 2 bullocks, 2 bulls. You give me one, I'll get you, and y'all take one. You cut yours up into pieces, lay it on the wood, but we're not going to put no fire under this. You see, this sacrifice, we're going to let the Lord decide. Okay? We're going to see who the Lord chooses. All right? We're going to see whose sacrifice is worthy of the Most High. All right? Who has the spirit of the Most High? Who is the Most High with? Continue reading.
Verse 24. And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord, and the God that answereth by fire, let him be God. And all the
See,
people.
hold on. It said, ye call on the names of your God. That's what we tell our brothers. You call on Kemet. You call on Geb and Ra and Horus and Set and what's the other one? Mayat and all that nonsense. You call on them. You call on Allah. You call on Buddha. You call on Caesar Borgia. You call on your gods. We're going to call on the Most High, Yahweh. Okay? He said, and I will call on the name of the Lord. And the God that answered by fire, let him be God. Continue.
And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken.
You see, and the people say, yeah, that's well spoken. You see, what this brother right here is saying, it makes sense. Let's see how this turns out. He's saying they both got equal opportunity. They both have the opportunity to show whose God is real. We're going to put this under there, okay? And we're not going to let no fire to it. We'll let the true God come and consume this sacrifice. Continue reading.
Verse 25. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you 1 bullock for yourselves, and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under.
He said, it's a lot of you. It's so many of you. Y'all just go ahead and do your thing. Go ahead and cut your bullock up, put it on there. Y'all go first. Y'all got it. You first. Go ahead.
Verse 26. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made.
You see, they got closer. Okay? It said when they took their bullock, So they was out there from morning even until noon. That's a long time. They out there. They out there so long, but there was no voice that answered because your false God can't help you do any damn thing. Okay? It said it got so bad that they leaped upon the altar. Now they jumping up and down on it. Okay, continue reading.
Verse 27. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them.
That he what?
That Elijah mocked them.
No, he was friendly with them.
That Elijah mocked them.
No, he gave them good courage.
That Elijah mocked them.
Elijah mocked them. You think you're going to come up against us at camp? You think you're going to run your stupid mouth when you know absolutely nothing against the prophets of God? Well, you might get mocked. You think you're going to come and scoff and look down and spit and throw beer and cross the line? You're going to get mocked. That is what's going to happen because you don't know anything. You think you're gonna come and tell me anything when all you do is listen to Little Uzi Vert and Sexy Red? You don't know a damn thing. You don't know nothing. I'm gonna let you come run your mouth to me when you study nothing. All you watch is Love and Hip Hop. Baddies, Florida. Okay, it ain't even Baddies, Florida. It's Florida. Okay. You think all you do is watch that. All you do is listen to Lil Baby all day. You think you're going to come and tell me something? You think you're going to come up against the priests and prophets? All you do is get high all day. And you're going to come and tell me something? You can't. You come against the Most High, you might get mocked. When we're out there all day and you're not producing, and your false idol isn't producing a damn thing, you might get mocked. So I said, came past the noon, Elijah mocked them. Let's see what Elijah says.
And said, cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or per adventure he sleepeth, and must be awaked.
You see, this is a prophet of the Most High. Okay? He said after he mocked him, he told him, cry aloud, man. Maybe y'all ain't loud enough. Y'all calling on the good Lord like, why don't y'all put some bass in your voice and call? He said, for he is a God. Isn't he a God, right? You said, by all is your God. Said either he's talking, he on the phone. He on the phone with Big Mama. You can't get off the phone with Big Mama. Like she as soon as you about to get off the phone, she got one more thing to say every time, right? They said, or he's pursuing. Maybe there's something that he's after, okay? Or he is in a journey. Maybe he had to go somewhere. He had to go to the next city. He needed eggs. He was trying to make some breakfast. All right. He needed a few eggs, cacao. Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he needed some milk for his Wheaties so he could be strong enough to come. So he could be strong enough. He had to get the Wheaties box with Michael Jordan on there, so he needed the milk so he could be strong enough. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's on a journey. This said, or a pre-adventure, or he's sleeping. He's tired, man. You got to wake him up. Maybe if y'all cry aloud, maybe you could wake him up. Shake him a little bit. He tired. All right, continue reading.
Verse 28. And they cry aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lances till the blood gushed out upon them.
That is crazy. So now they cried aloud. They did. They listened to Elijah. Maybe we need to be louder. Then when their God wasn't answering, they start panicking, cutting themselves with knives and lancing till the blood gushed upon them. Continue reading.
Verse 29. And it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded.
You see, because a false idol can do absolutely nothing. You serving a false god, what benefit does that have to you? There's something that's out there that can't do a damn thing for you. That is idiotic. All right. So they out there just just talking, just yelling, just cutting themselves with lances. But there was no voice. There was nothing to answer, nor anything that regarded them. There was nothing. Continue reading.
Verse 30. And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And
You
he,
see, but hold on. But Elijah, he said, you want to see a miracle? Come in real close. Yeah, hey, y'all in the back. Y'all come up here. Yeah, hey, you over there. Come on. Tighten in this circle. All right. This is a huddle. Tighten it in. All right. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you who the true God is, of it, the God of Israel. All right. Continue.
and he repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down.
And see, he had to repair the altar because they didn't jump all over it, doing all manner of nonsense, hollering and yelling. You know where else they jump all over the altar, doing all manner of nonsense? Where else do they jump on the altar?
The Christian church.
The Christian church. That's why your grandma done ran all over the damn church falling out. They got to put a cover over her so you don't see those bloomers. For you young men, them bloomers are granny panties, okay? Ain't the thong that you young brothers be what? You know, no, I'm just messing with you. It ain't the thong. It ain't Victoria's Secret under there, okay? They running around, they hollering, running around the church, sweating, following. Now you got to catch them. You know, it's always a plus size person who want to fall out too. Nobody gonna be catching your big tail all service. I gotta you gonna fall out 3-4 times. You ain't built to fall. Okay? If you ain't built to fall, stay your tail in that seat. Got me lifting you up and covering you up all that. Okay? So this is what we gotta understand. All right. Elijah had to repair that altar that was broken down, that these false prophets was jumping all over. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 31. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name.
So he took these 12 stones according to the 12 sons of Jacob, according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And Jacob's name was changed to Israel because he wanted a blessing, and he was wrestling with an angel, and he would not let go of the angel. You know, like no matter what, he would not let go because he wanted his blessing. It said like he touched the hollow of his thigh, all right? And it was like damaged, but he don't care. With a broken limb, with anything, he wanted that. He wanted a blessing from the Most High, and that's why his name was changed to Israel. Okay, from Jacob to Israel. All right, we can continue reading.
Verse 32. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he made a trench about the altar, as great as wood contain 2 measures of seed.
Continue reading.
Verse 33. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. Verse 34.
All right, drop down to 36, because what it's going to tell you is that he did this 4 times. He built a trench. He dug a trench around the altar. He poured barrels and barrels of water all over it and filled all the trench up. Now read 36.
Verse 36. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art God in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word.
See, anything great that you do, any success you have, you better believe that it's at the Most High's words. It's at His will. All right, it's because you serving Him. Continue reading.
Verse 37, hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Lord God, and that thou hast turned their heart back again.
You see, because that's what He's trying to do. He's trying to get them to turn their hearts back again. Continue.
Verse 38, then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood, and the stones and the dust, and lit up the water that was in the trench.
You see, the Lord came and He took care of all of that. All right. He accepted the sacrifice of Elijah. Okay, because he was a righteous man. And what you're going to see after is that all these people, they were hunted down and they were unalived. Now let's get back to where we need to be. Let's get Hebrews 9:11.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 9, verse 11. But Christ being come and high priest of good things to come, by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building.
Continue reading.
Verse 12, neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered in once.
Read that one more time.
Neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood.
You see, that's why we don't sacrifice animals no more. Because Christ is the ultimate sacrifice. It says, neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by His own blood enter in once into the holy place. You see, the Lord requires it. All right. And that's why Christ, it had to be through the blood. It wasn't going to be any other way. Okay. It was through the blood of Christ. Could continue reading.
Having obtained eternal redemption for us.
For us, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's what Christ came for. That's what He was unalive for. That's what His sacrifice was for. Continue reading.
Verse 13. For if the blood of bulls and of goats and the ashes of an heifer sprinkling the unclean sanctifies to the purifying of the flesh. Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
How much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered him without spot to God.
You see, stop right there. It says, it said if all those other things can cleanse you, right? Let me go back real quick. It said if the blood of bulls and goats and their ashes of heifer sprinkle the unclean, sanctify and purify the flesh, okay? How much more shall the blood of Christ do? You see, Christ's blood was more precious than any of those bullocks or any damn thing, okay? So how much more? If those things sanctified you, how much more would Christ's blood sanctify you? Continue reading.
Purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God. Verse 15. And for this, because he is the mediator of the New Testament.
Okay, and this is what you take to Christians when they tell you that Christ came for everybody. Okay? Let me tell you that Christ loves everybody. Though God loves everybody, and Christ came, John 3:16, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. You show them this. Continue.
And for this he is called Salaki, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament, they which are
Hold
called.
on. Hold on. And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament. Who was under the first testament? Who is the Old Testament about that they always say? And they think the New Testament is not.
um, Moses.
Not Moses. Moses is a part of it, but it's not just Moses. It's what? What nation?
Um, so you can speak.
Is it Hebrew?
It's not. All right, Hebrew is the language. What is the people called?
Israelite.
Israel.
Oh,
Okay. So this is for Israelites because that's who was under the first testament, right? And that's who is under the New Testament. Okay?
Understand?
That's what we have to understand. Christ came back for us so we could come back into the fold because we were outcasted. What you got to understand, I believe in Second Kings, there was a split, all right? And we were outcasted. People were outcasted out of the land of Israel. If you ever missed a Passover, you were outcasted out of the land of Israel, out of the nation. You was an outcast. You was treated like a heathen and a publican. Okay? So that's why Christ came back so we could come back in. So all of us who have messed up, us today, we are in the truth. Why? Because of Christ. But we couldn't be here if we weren't the same people that were under the first testament. Okay? Is there any more on that?
They which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance.
You see that? The people under the first Christ came back so the people of the first testament might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. This is about family. It's not about anything else. Okay? Let's get Ephesians. Christians, you love the New Testament. You don't. Y'all always bringing up the Old Testament. No, we bring up the Testament of the Most High. The Old Testament, the Apocrypha, which is right in the middle, okay, and the New Testament, because it's one book about one people. See, what we got to understand is the Bible is our Declaration of Independence. The Bible is a record of a people, are good, are bad, and are ugly. All right, and we have to understand that and stop trying to give our precious knowledge and understanding to everybody. All right, so I don't know if y'all are familiar with this, but other cultures do not want you to have or you to be a part of what belongs to them. All right, so when Bruce Lee was out there in Seattle, when he came to America, he was living in Seattle, right? He was teaching what the Chinese called the Guai-Lo, all right? Meaning teaching Americans their ancient Kung Fu secrets. I don't know if y'all know, but Bruce Lee had a fight. He won the fight, but when he turned his back, the person jumped and kicked him in his back. They broke his back for going against the Most High. Y'all better give me 1 second.
Salaki.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Hold on. So, like, yeah, go ahead. You was gonna say something?
But which chapter, officer?
Oh, we're gonna go to Ephesians 5:2.
5 and 2. All right, I got it right here.
You can go ahead.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 2. And walk in love, as Christ also hath loved us, and hath given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet smelling savor.
You see that? All right. Christ was the ultimate sacrifice. Because Christ loved us. Christ loved his brother. Christ had the ultimate brotherhood. You know how we always say, I'll die for my brother. We'll say that, right? Christ really meant that. He was given to the Most High, giving himself for an offering. That's for us an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet smelling savor. All right? Because Christ was unblemished. We got to understand that. Christ didn't have no blemishes. Okay? He was perfect. When he walked this earth, he walked it perfect because he did what the Lord told him to do. All right, let's drop that. Now, like I told y'all, we was going to bring it all the way back home. Let's get back to Genesis chapter 4, and we'll pick it up at verse 6. Get back to Cain.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? So like wrath. And why is thy countenance fallen?
So the Lord asked Cain, why are thou wroth? And why have that countenance fallen? Why are you mad? And why your face got your countenance is your facial expression. He came there like this. Yeah, sure. I'm about to get this blessing. Yeah, I'm about to give him 3 acorns, 2 pine cones, and some of this wheat. If I sprinkle in some of this wheat, he gonna love me. The Lord didn't accept his sacrifice. So the Lord is asking him, why did your countenance fallen? Why the hell are you mad? Continue reading.
Verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
What'd he say?
If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
I want you young brothers to understand that. If thou doest well, won't that not be accepted? Cain, you didn't do well. That's the problem. Cain's sacrifice was not a well sacrifice. Continue reading.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
See? And if you do it not well, sin lieth at the door. How do we know that? Because he slayed Abel. Continue.
And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Continue reading.
Verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him.
So he rose up against Abel, his brother, and he slew him. And when you rise up against your brother today, and you slew him, and I'm talking about the brothers in your nation. I'm not talking about your big brother, your little brother. I'm talking about you rise up against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians today and slew them. This is what you're doing. Go to John 8:44.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
So basically, Cain was being jealous towards Abel.
Cain. He was very jealous. And you know that jealous spirit can have you do something very horrible. Because some people, they have a jealous spirit because, they don't know what it took for you to get to where you get. You might see a brother. He might have a BMW. Not everybody who drives a BMW, parents bought it for him. So some of those people sacrificed. Some of those people ate ramen noodles and cheese sandwiches every day because they wanted to save up for a down payment. Somebody who has a nice house, maybe they sacrificed more than you. Maybe they didn't buy a blunt a day. You want to buy a damn blunt a day, and then you spend all your money on weed and alcohol, and then you get mad because somebody has more than you. Well, maybe they went without their lust of their flesh. And that's why their sacrifice was better than yours. Because you don't want to sacrifice any damn thing. Okay? You are absolutely right, Trooper Kakam. He was jealous of his brother. And the only reason he was jealous is because the Lord accepted Abel's sacrifice and didn't accept his. When he boasted in himself and thought he was actually doing something. When all in all, he wasn't doing a damn thing. Let's get John 8:44. Because if you slow your brother, if you out there and you are slaying your brothers or your sisters, this is what you are doing right now. Just like your oppressor. Go ahead.
You said John 8:44?
Khan.
I become. Like the book of John, chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father, the devil. And
Ye are of your father. We're going to take this real slow. Ye are of your father, the devil. Okay? Your oppressor, that is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay? Devil means deceiver. He deceives you. He told you that Christ was pale skinned. Even though the Bible says Judah should never wax pale. But he fed you a pale skin. All right? He tells you all these lies. See, you are of your father, the devil. Because that's who you look up to. That's who you honor. That's who you're trying to please. You're not trying to please God. You're trying to please Joe Biden. That's who you want to please. You're trying to please your boss. You're trying to please your school teacher. He come in and he's teaching you about his history, about his nation. And do the work. Do the work so you can get the money in their kingdom. But you come over here for the truth. You come to the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. What we give you is practical. What we give you is very simple. You can break it all the way down to its simplest form. Ain't that what they tell you to do with fractions? They tell you to break it down to the simplest form. That's what we do. We break it down to the simplest form so you can understand. So you can separate yourself from these people. And when we say separate, we don't say go move out the country. Separate like they separate. They talk to you at work. They talk to you at school. But you can never be them, just like they could never be you. Okay? Continue reading.
And the lust of your father ye will do.
The lust of your father ye will do. That's why you do everything he says, right? Because your father told you, your father, the devil, he told you what? He told you that shrimp and crab and lobster is a delicacy. That's not a delicacy to the Lord. Okay? He told you that what? Pork is the other white meat. He told you that it's okay to be alternative lifestyle. Okay? Man on man, women on women, doing things which is unseemly. That's what the Bible says. Okay? He teaches you all these things. He teaches you that psychedelics are cool. You're tapping into the inner you. Pop this acid and just ride the wave. Your oppressor, he loves riding the wave. except the wave that he will ride. He will hate that wave. Continue reading.
Captain Khan. He was a murderer from the beginning.
You see, they taught us that what? They taught us with this show called Roots. It was a series that came out in the 70s with Alex Haley, which turned out to not even be true. Okay. Where it showed him coming from Africa as Kunta Kinte on the slave ship, right? They said you were a jungle bunny in Africa, and that they taught you about Christ. They taught you how to clean yourself. They taught you civilization. That's what they say. We here in the ISUPK know that is not true. The only thing we ever learned from our oppressors is how to unalive each other. They did teach us how to unalive because he was a murderer from the beginning. Continue.
And abode not in the truth.
And abode not in the truth, meaning not to live, not to dwell in the truth. Because he is a liar. Continue. It'll tell you.
Because there is no truth in him.
Mm-hmm.
When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
See, so when he tells you these lies, it's for his own benefit. You think your oppressor doesn't know the laws of God? You think he doesn't know that if he keeps you away from the laws of God, that God will never come and stand with you? That's why when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of himself, because it helps build his kingdom. You pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you work hard, you're going to have a good life. No, you're not. You pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you do all your studies, you're going to get into a good school. Do you know that a few years ago, an actress, she was caught buying her child's way into school when there was somebody of our nation who was more eligible to go to that school, but they didn't get the slot? You think you're just supposed to work harder. You think that's what it is. Because they done told you if you work harder, if you do what you're supposed to do, then it's going to be all good. That is the lies that they tell you. Okay? Continue reading.
Verse 45.
Oh, no, that was it. That was the end of it.
That's the end.
Now let's get back to Genesis. We got to go back to Genesis chapter 4 and pick it back up at verse 9.
The book of Genesis, verse 4, chapter 4, verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
So he said, am I my brother's keeper? He said, I don't know where he is, even though he knew exactly where he was, of course. He know what he did to his brother, but he's going to say, am I my brother's keeper? You're damn right you're your brother's keeper. Okay? We need brotherhood and sisterhood. I am Kakam Ahmad. You're damn right I'm his keeper. You're damn right I'm going to do everything in my power for this brother to succeed. Okay? We don't have that when we're in the gang, when we're selling drugs, because everybody wants to be on top. Everybody wants to be the number one. Everybody wants to be the best. Everybody wants the pretty girl with the long hair and the banging body. But we are our brother's keeper. You know? And I would never trade my brother for some hoe. Ever. He is more important to me. You're damn right. You better be your brother's keeper. Because for this brother, I will take a life and lay my life down for it. And that's how you have to be. You have to be about your brothers and your sisters and about your nation and your God. We was just teaching on David yesterday, right?
Correct.
David went out there and he slayed for his nation. And next week, next Tuesday, we'll get back to that lesson. Okay? But we have to understand exactly who we need to be, what we need to be. And here in the Israelite School of UPK, we are our brother's keeper. I pray you understand. And if you don't understand, if you don't believe it, come against one of our brothers. Come against us. I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand how many people have came against us. And the Lord defeated them because we are our brother's keepers. Okay? We done went to Honduras to get children. You want to hear amazing stories? Contact Officer of 5000, the camp leader of San Antonio, Dawada. Let him tell you some stories. Let him tell you some stories that'll have your eyes open and white. Because he's his brother's keeper. Yes, Captain Yatazak. Captain Yatazak led missions into places that they had the mission to Acuna, right? They went in there to feed the Haitians that were struggling, right? Do you know those same routes that UPK took that other people try to take? They are unalive. You think the cartel gives a damn about you trying to feed people or clothe people? You think that's not going to stop them from unaliving you? They don't care. But when the Lord is with you, that's why I'll follow Captain Yatazak into anywhere. I wouldn't give a damn. Whatever he says, I just say, Khan, I don't want Khan. I don't think about it. He does all the thinking for me. I don't have to think about a damn thing. If he says go left, I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna say, do I need to go a hard left? Do I need to go out a little bit and sweat? Whatever he says. And I'm gonna tell you how heavy Captain Yatazak is. There was his brother. He had this need money for weed sign forever downtown. I've been seeing this brother since I moved to Texas, since 2011 at least. We go to camp. I want to say it was the beginning of this year. We go to camp. Captain Yatazak tells him, if you don't stop what you're doing, the Lord's going to deal with you. See, when Cap says something, it's a lot different. Because the next week, somebody else was holding his sign. Because there was fentanyl in his weed. Like we all think, people don't die from weed. Actually, you can. There was fentanyl in his weed, and he was not there the next week. But Captain Yatazak, he gave him a word. When the men above you tell you something, listen to it. And see, this is the thing that I learned. I heard a General Muhammad say this one time. He said, if the man above you gives you an order to jump out the window, you just jump out that window. So men above who give orders, you watch the orders that you give to the people under you. Because I'm going to follow the order. So you better give me the right order or you're going to be mad at yourself. Because I'm going to do whatever the hell you say, word for word. If you say take 3 steps, then go to the left, then take 3 steps up and go to the right, I'm going to do exactly that. So if you mean 4, say 4. If you mean 2, say 2. Because if you say 3, I'm going to do 3. And we are our brother's keeper here in the Israelite School of UPK. Continue reading.
Verse 10. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground.
You see, the voice of that brother's blood is crying to me from the ground. I already know what you've done. You know? Tell me what you've done. Cain, continue.
So like you, sir. So basically, it's saying that he felt guilt for killing Abel.
Let's go back to it.
So could you break that down?
It said, and he said, "What hast thou done?" Oh, Salakia. Hold on. Let's go back one more to verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, "Where is Abel thy brother?" And he said, "I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?" It wasn't guilt right there. It was, when you're trying to get out of a situation, when you know you did something wrong and you're trying to fix it. That's
Uh,
why he told that lie. I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? If he felt guilty, he would have said, "Salakia, Lord, my anger overcame me. I don't know what overcame me. I did unalive him. He's over there. I kind of threw something over him so nobody could see." But he said, no. He said, "I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?" That's
mm,
not guilt. That's a bold-faced lie trying to get out of what you did. And a lot of people, they're guilty because they got caught. That's what they're guilty about.
okay.
They're not guilty about what they actually did. They're guilty of because they got caught.
Come.
Go ahead.
Verse 11. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
And see, it says, "And now thou art cursed from the earth." Continue.
Verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond,
Vagabond.
vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
You see, and this is how we know who this is. Okay? Because it says, you know, it says when you till it the ground, it shall not henceforth. Like, farming is hard. It could have been easy. With the most high, it would have just grew perfectly. But no, you're going to have to put mad work into it. It says a fugitive, a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. That's what your oppressor is. Your oppressor is a fugitive and a vagabond. Why? Because he doesn't have a home. They climbed out of those caves in the Caucasus Mountains, and all they do is go around and they conquer. No land that they live in is their land. Every piece of land that they are in, it really belongs to somebody else. They just conquered them because they're so diabolical. They could do things to you that you wouldn't imagine doing to them. There's no way as a man I could come, take your strong man, take any of your men and put my rod in them. They will do that to you. There's no way I'm going to take your little baby girl and throw my rod in her because I bought her from him. We're not going to do that. We're not diabolical like that. There's no way I'm just going to go and just slay your people for no reason. The things they do to us, we don't do to them. Have you ever heard a story of do they have a Trayvon Martin without it coming from them? Do they have a Emmett Till without it coming from them? No, they don't. So a vagabond, a fugitive, that's all they're going to ever be. And there will be a day where they pay for their crimes, for what they did to the children of slaves. Continue reading.
Verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
All right. So Cain said his punishment is greater than he can bear. Why is he saying this? Why would this punishment be to be a fugitive and a vagabond? Why would this punishment be too great for him to bear?
Because he's not able to handle the punishment that God is giving him.
But what is the punishment? Just the ground not tilling for you? Him being a fugitive and a vagabond? What is he really scared of? Because remember, Christians teach you that there's only 3 people on the earth now.
Correct.
But what is he really scared of?
So like you, sir, I'm confused.
Let's continue reading. We're gonna get that understanding. Most High in Christ. That's a good thing to be confused. Because after this, you're going to have all the understanding.
Khan. Verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
That what?
That everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
Who the hell is everyone? Christianity teaches you that it's Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel. Cain slew Abel. Who the hell is everyone? That's why he's scared. Because it wasn't just Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel. The earth was full of people.
Okay.
Christianity is a lie. And all of our people who are succumbed to that, we have to get up out of that. Okay? Continue reading.
Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
You see? The Lord wouldn't have to do that. Why would the Lord say, whoever taketh vengeance on Cain? Is he just talking to Adam and Eve?
No, he's talking to everyone.
He's talking to everyone, to everybody who the hell is out there. Continue reading.
Verse 16. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east.
Go ahead, finish out.
On the east of Eden.
So, Slakia, what's the young man's name again?
Oh, young man Ty.
So it's me, Kakam, and young man Ty. How the hell can I go to a land of Nod? They got a name. If it's not a city already, if it's not a land, if it's not a civilization, if there's not people there, how the hell is it the land of Nod if one of us go out and go there out of the three people on earth? It wouldn't be that. Why would we be, if it's just us three, it's just us three, and I gotta go out this land because I unalived the fourth one of us. Who the hell would I be scared of if it's not y'all? You see, his parents wasn't gonna do nothing to him. That's why we have to break the barriers. Okay.
So Cain, Salakia, sir. So Cain's punishment was everybody that findeth him will kill him.
No, he was afraid of that. His punishment was when he tilled the earth, it wouldn't bear like it did. He wouldn't be able to farm so easy. Like farming is hard. Like you can go out there and your crops can die easily. Farming is very hard. That's why they got to use all kind of pesticides and all these things to kill off the bugs and all that, so they don't eat it all up and destroy your crops. It's harder now. That was his punishment. But the Lord put a mark on him so no man would slay him.
Salakia, okay.
That mark was that pale skin. You know, all of us were dark skin of dark hue. Cain wasn't. After that was the mark that he put on him. Okay. No, I'm gonna skip that for time's sake, and let's just get right into Jacob and Esau. Let's go to Genesis chapter 25, verse 21.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
Continue.
Verse 22.
All right, hold on. All right, so we all know that that Jacob, he had Leah and he had Rachel as a wife. But he loved Rachel so much and didn't really love Leah because he didn't want her at first, all right, because he was working for Laban 7 years for Rachel, and then Laban gave him Leah, so he had to work another 7 years for Rachel, and he loved Rachel so much. She was so precious to him. So Leah, her wound was open, and she was having baby after baby after baby. Rebecca wasn't. So that's why he had to go in and entreat the Lord about Rebecca. Go ahead.
Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, If if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord.
So she's saying, if this is of the Lord, why are these children struggling inside me? Why am I thus? Continue.
Verse 23. The Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
See, this is us and the oppressor. See, we were in that womb together. That's why the Lord said 2 nations are in thy womb. 2 manner of people will be separated from thy bowels. It said, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Continue.
Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Verse 25. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment.
And the first one came out red all over like a hairy garment. Okay. We know who's really red skin in this earth, right? We know who's hairy as hell. You know, people don't believe in Bigfoots. I do. You know why I believe in Bigfoot? Take a razor away from Russia. You're gonna have a bunch of 6'6", 6'7", 6'11" hairy beasts walking around. Take it away from Yugoslavia. You heard of 5 o'clock shadow, right? Okay. They got to shave after they shave. Okay? These are hairy people. Our enemies, these are some hairy bastards. Okay? They are Bigfoot. You see a Yeti, take away a razor from Europe for 1 month. You know how many Yetis you'll see? I'm sure all the hair on their body will grow to the ground. Okay? But they called him Esau. Esau is our oppressor. Okay? He father of the Edomites. Continue reading.
And they called his name Esau. Verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and he said, Salaki, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she buried them. Verse 27.
Yep.
And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
You see, that should tell you everything you need to know. And I'm about to help you out right here. It said, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. Esau is a cunning hunter. They hunt you, right? They hunted you since slavery. Oh, they hunt lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. They will wake up at 3 a.m. just to go into the woods to rub deer piss all over their body to kill Bambi. Oh, they're a cunning hunter. They know how to get that. It said, in Jacob, well, he was a plain man. He was dwelling in tents. We be in the house chilling. They out there early morning, hunting, doing all that. We in the house chilling. Is there any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Do you have the security announcements?
Salakia, sir, I don't have them.
You don't? I'm trying to think, is there a way I could get this to you?
Do you want me to text Trooper Yaquab to send it to me?
Um, just hold on 1 second. Y'all bear with me 1 second. Just continue.
Okay. Verse 28. And Salaki and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, and but Rebekah loved Jacob. Verse 29. And Jacob
Hold on. It said, and Isaac loved Esau. Hey, Esau was making that venison, making that meat we is not supposed to. It's not the meat we ain't supposed to eat, but we ain't supposed to eat stuff with blood. You see? And he loved that red pottage. Okay, continue reading.
but Rebekah loved Jacob.
Uh-huh.
Verse 29. And Jacob sighed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
So Jacob, he in there cooking. You know, he in the house, he chilling. Esau out there hunting, forgot to eat. He been out there so long, he ain't got nothing to eat. All right. So he coming, he was faint. Continue reading.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Yaquab sent me the security announcements.
Oh yeah, I know because I just called him, but I want to finish this out so people can get understanding real quick right here. So go ahead and continue reading.
Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint.
See, he was depleted from coming in from the field. He was faint, right? So he said, I pray you serve me that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore, his name was called Edom. Continue.
Therefore was his name called Edom.
Continue.
Verse 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
You see, Esau sold Jacob his birthright. Jacob didn't steal it. They want to make it seem like he stole Esau's birthright. He didn't. Okay. Continue reading.
Verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
Continue reading.
Verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
See, he sold his birthright unto him. Continue.
Verse 34. And Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
See, Esau despised that birthright. He didn't give a damn about it no more. He just wanted that food. Don't give up your birthright just for something for your flesh. It's better to be unalived. It's better to perish over your birthright and your inheritance. And with that, we are the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commandant General Yohana. Let's get the security announcements. You still there?
Yes, sir.
All right, Most High Grace. All right, go ahead.
1 second, sir. We are the ISUPK.
The ISUPK.
ISUPK started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18 verse 21. Malachi chapter 3 Salaki verse 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew. 10%. Ma'atra. Salaki. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Upcoming holy convocations, we're in the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's the 15th day of the first month for 7 days, okay? That's Sunday, April 21st until Sunday, April 28th, 2024, sundown. We find this in the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verses 17 through 20, and the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 6 through 8.
If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf.
All right, headband and scarf. All right, headband or scarf. You're right. All right, with that, we go into a magium, which means to stand. We're going to start. We're going to turn and face the east. All right, we're going to get the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa,
Abanaw,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Kotabasamayu,
Kodash,
Kanash,
Hayah,
Yan,
Shamka,
Ka,
Yahweh,
How,
Malakwaka,
Nakula,
Tabaya,
Amaya,
Ratazayaka,
Ertaika,
Hayah,
Aya,
Aisha,
Sha,
Barataza,
Barakza,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Hayah,
Aya,
Bashamayim,
Bashamayim,
Nathan Lanawa,
Latan Nanaw,
Lakam,
Lakam,
Ko,
Ko,
Yawam,
Yawan,
Wasalaki Nawa,
Batunatu Yawa,
Kabawati Nawa,
Tawaki Naw,
Kasalaki Nawa,
Talaki Naw,
Kabawati Nawa,
Audan Nawayu,
Wala,
Wala,
Tabanayawa,
Tawanayu,
Panasaya one,
Onesayon,
Abo,
Bo,
Yahweh Shanawa,
How Shalnu,
Maya,
Aya,
Rai,
Go Ra,
no Rai,
Ra,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Hamalakwa,
Amnawaf,
Wahala,
Awala,
Wahata Parath,
or Farag,
La'ai Walayim,
or the liar,
Aman.
Aman,
Now in the English, our Father which art in heaven,
Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name, Yahweh.
hallowed be our name, Yahweh,
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done,
will be done,
in earth as it is in heaven.
earth as it in the heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
They our daily bread.
and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Give us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
Lead us not to temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thou art the kingdom,
and the power,
the power,
and the glory,
the glory,
forever so be it.
forever so be it.
All right, Yajamata, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher, Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Amajium, Barak. Go ahead.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Barakta Barakta.
Yahal Ba'ashem Yahashah Brakatham. All right, Yajamata, we're going to Sar, turn, face the sisters rise. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat. Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamal Lathan Ba Hashem Yahushua, Yajamatah, class dismissed.